Hey guys, Jeff Grant's here. Steven is with me as well.
Yellow.
Real quick before we get started on this episode, we wanted to point out that this was originally one long episode, and we decided to split it into two parts. With this week's episode being the news.
We done talked too much.
We talked a lot, so you get about an hour or so of news and stuff like that. And then we decided to break it. We continued on into our.
We're gonna slash the episode in half with our adamantium claws.
Hell yeah. I got 2 of them because I'm X-23.
And I got 3 of them because I'm an old man.
And so we're going to split it up. And then next week, you'll be able to hear our spoiler review of Logan. Mm-hmm. Either later this week or next week, you'll be able to hear that. Yep. And then the following week's episode will be the commentary track on the Power Rangers. You're going to get 2 episodes.
It's
either
more
this week or next week. It's more.
It's more
content.
Bonus pods.
Yeah, bonus pods. Enjoy it.
You like it.
Yes, that's what it is. We'll get 2 bonus pods instead of 1 regular weekly pod and everything.
How's that for free?
Yeah. Huh? How you enjoy that? You're getting your money's worth. Okay, well, enough with our shenanigans. Here's our other shenanigans. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Amazing Nerdiverse. I'm Jeff Grant.
I'm Steven Tukert.
This is the podcast where we talk about all things cookies and snacks.
Cookies, snacks, pretzels.
Pretzel sticks. Gluten-free pretzel sticks.
Doritos.
Pretzel snicks?
Pretzel sticks. Chex Mix.
I was going to say pretzel snacks and pretzel sticks.
Chex Mix. What else?
Cookies.
Oreo cookies.
Rice Krispie Treats. Cocoa Rice Krispie Treats. I just got some of those. Those are good.
Yeah? Are they good?
All right.
I
don't know why I'm bragging.
All right, calm down.
No, this is the podcast where we talk about all things good and geeky in the Amazing Nerdiverse. That whole thing came. We were just sitting here for what'd you say it was? 7 solid minutes?
It's at least about a good 7 minutes of just eating a cookie and a bag of pretzels.
I was eating a cookie and you were eating a bag of gluten-free pretzel sticks.
Pretzel sticks.
Still can't say it. On the pod, just on the mics, just hearing what it sounded like.
Steve and Jeff eat snacks.
I seriously thought about that should have just been the episode, just us eating and talking.
Bonus pod.
Like we normally do.
Let's do that as a bonus pod in the future.
No one would want to listen to that.
You never know.
That's like a serious pet peeve people have that listen to podcasts,
why?
People eating on the air.
Well, there's worse problems.
No, I can't think of any. All right. First things first, I wanted to plug our Logan review. It's a video review. You can watch it and see our faces as we talk and words come out of our mouths.
So that's what video is.
Yeah. I was just explaining it. Yeah. I mean, we do videos for all of the podcasts, but they're not actual video of us.
As far as you know. I've been taking video.
Oh, okay. Do you have a separate YouTube channel that I'm not aware of?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Pornhub.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so check out our Logan review. Also, another movie that I'm going to be reviewing, Kong Skull Island, comes out this Friday. As of this recording, it's Wednesday. It's coming out in 2 days from now. I'm going to see it, so by the time you're hearing this, you should be able to read my Kong Skull Island review on Heroic Hollywood, and then next week maybe we'll talk about Kong Skull Island.
Is that the one where that monkey fights that lizard?
Yeah. Actually, no. You know what?
He doesn't fight the lizard.
Next week, we're recording our Power Rangers commentary.
That's next week?
That's the next. So when you're hearing this, the next episode of the podcast, instead of being a regular episode of the podcast, it's going to be our Power Rangers, our commentary track on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie.
So wait, how are we doing this? When's Power Rangers coming out?
It's coming out when people are hearing this. It's coming out. It's coming out on the 24th. So when people are hearing this, it's coming out the following Friday. Not that Friday, but the following Friday.
So it'll be within the week.
Yeah. So so this episode comes out the 13th. Then the next week, the episode will come out on the 19th or 20th, and then you'll be able to listen to the commentary.
So we gotta watch that movie and prepare.
Yeah, we do. I haven't seen it in like 20 years, so I'm excited.
Gotta check out that IMDb.
20's probably low.
Yeah.
Probably been longer than that. So yeah. So maybe we won't talk about Kong Skull Island. Maybe I'll figure something out for the podcast to talk about it, or it'll be late. I'll just spend all my time playing Breath of the Wild.
What's that?
The new Zelda game for the Nintendo Switch. I got my Switch over there. I'm excited about it. I haven't been able to play it nearly as much as I'd like to.
Can I have it?
Been busy. No. It's dude, that game is so expansive. These giant worlds and like this giant world and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who's been playing it, I just now got off the plateau, which when you start the game, you're in this one part of the map, and it seems even that part seems pretty big.
Right.
That part, you could fit I think you could probably fit the entire map from Ocarina of Time, like my favorite Zelda game. Yeah. Macaroni of Time. You could fit it on the plateau pretty much of this game. Like there's this place where it's like, you're on a high raised up plateau or whatever, and it's just like a steep cliff off any direction you go. And then that's the rest of the world. So you have to complete everything on that plateau before you can move on. And it's not that far into the game. That's just what I've done because I've just been taking my time. I take my time on these games. I really explore around and try to find shit. And
so you don't zip through it first and then play it through a second time to collect all the.
No,
that's kind of what I do.
Yeah,
I wish I did it the other way.
I get that, but it's just like I just get distracted easily. Right. Just go, ooh, what's over here?
Yeah.
Like I always postpone everything. Like I'm like, all right, I know I got to go there, but let's see what's over here first.
Yep.
Stuff like that. But it's great. Just got off the plateau. Got a little hang glider now, so I can glide off.
Oh, jeez.
This game it's fun.
Yeah.
Like it's a good one. Yeah. And just looking at I scrolled out on the map just to see this is this little tiny circle is where the starting position is. You scroll out and you go, oh my god, this place is so huge. Can't wait to explore all of it. Anyway, next thing on the list, on the expedition, next thing for us to explore is the Nerdiverse. We're going to talk about the news from the Nerdiverse.
Nice. We can talk about the table?
Oh, we didn't.
Do you want to? I mean, I don't know if...
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not the biggest deal, but it's kind of fun.
But do you feel like it's giving you a different feel?
Yeah, I do.
Like while we're doing this, do you feel a little bit more relaxed? I feel and a little bit more
loose. I like it a lot.
Right?
We are recording on we got a poker table set up in here.
Mm-hmm.
You got this, at Goodwill?
Yep, Goodwill. $24.
It's pretty decent for that.
Pretty decent for $24.
It's only got 2 of the cup holders still, but the plastic pieces that go down in there, but still. It's pretty good buy for $24. It's really big and it's just in the middle of my room and everything. It's perfect for this, but the only question is storage.
Right.
Where the hell is this thing going to go when we're not recording?
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll have to figure something out, but I do like this.
This is nice.
A lot.
It gives a different feel.
It does. Yeah.
I wonder if you'll be able to tell when you go back and listen.
Yeah, you'll be able to hear us eating pretzels. Pretzel snicks.
That's a bonus pod.
Said it on purpose that time in case
I'm telling you, I got bonus pod ideas.
Yeah.
It's coming down the pike. Bonus pods. T-shirts.
I guess
keychains.
Next week would
lunchboxes,
technically be a
sneakers.
Bonus pod. It's not a regular podcast. It's a commentary track.
Right.
Do you want to do an actual podcast as well in addition to that, or is that just too much?
No, dude. That's the point of a bonus pod.
All right. Well, let's officially now jump into the news from the Nerdiverse.
All right.
All right. First up, we're going to talk some DCEU. Wonder Woman. There was just a edit bay visit.
Okay. What does that mean for those of us that are not initiated?
Well, Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman,
right?
She invited a bunch of members of the press to come out to where they're editing the film in London, and just take a look at a couple of scenes and stuff like that. And just
where's our tickets?
They must have gotten misplaced or something. Andy from Heroic Hollywood, he went out there and
nice.
did it for the website and everything. So So he's got a lot of stuff. This is just the tip of the iceberg, by the way, the stuff that I'm going to talk about right now, because there's so much. I definitely recommend going on Heroic Hollywood and checking out all of Andy's coverage and everything.
Okay.
But right now, this is just the tip of it. So let's jump into this.
Let's dive in.
First up, okay, Wonder Woman is the origin story of the film.
Right.
Patty Jenkins, she's wanted to direct this movie since 2000.
Specifically?
Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Since 2004. She's been trying since 2004 to get this movie made.
Wow. I wonder what those scripts were like.
She said she's come in the studio about every year to pitch. There's been different versions, some set in the past, some set in the present, stuff like that. And she said, really, this is the one she's been wanting to do. And now, finally, the version that Warner Brothers wants is in line with the version she's been pitching since, like, the beginning.
Okay.
I think the one difference is that she was always assuming it would be World War II, but they decided on World War I, which actually I feel is more appropriate for the Wonder Woman character.
Why?
Well, for many reasons, I think, like, well, I mean, the big thing is, I mean, they're not really talking about this, but the big thing is Captain America kind of covered the World War II.
Yeah, I guess. That'd be a little bit too similar.
We've seen it, and we've seen a million World War II things.
Yeah.
But, like, World War I is something we don't get explored a lot, and it's the war to end all wars. It was the first big war like this, and with the involvement of Ares and all that stuff, the God of War, like, this is a perfect time to introduce that. And then, who knows, man, maybe the sequel could be World War II or something like that. We don't know for sure.
I haven't seen it, obviously, but I'm doubting that she gets frozen in ice. So
no, she's just been alive this whole time. She doesn't have to get frozen in ice.
What do you do with your time if you're just,
I don't know. You pick up hobbies here and there. So the film said is going to start in present day in Paris.
Okay.
And she receives not an email, but she receives a package.
Oh boy!
From Bruce Wayne, which contains the actual photo of
Gotcha.
her in World War I. So it's not like a lame like photo like him sending her like an email. This I actually read as like if he's sending her the package with the photo, like that's more of like a personal thing to her.
Right.
And her receiving that is what flashes her back to this whole origin story and everything. It's like the personal connection to these people in the photograph.
So, like, you know how they have like carrier pigeons?
Mm-hmm.
So did it arrive on like a carrier bat?
Yeah.
Like it's just like a little bat, and he's just.
He just tied it to its leg.
And it's really tired.
Like, it's a long trek from Gotham City to Paris. That poor bat, and he can only fly at night. So the first act is her entire origin story from like childhood on up.
Okay.
So we're gonna get to see her birth. Now we talked about this last week.
Mm-hmm.
She is made out of clay.
No.
In the movie. I mean, that's the classic Wonder Woman origin that people have shied away from recently, but I seem to it slipped my mind last week. I forgot about this, but I have already seen there was some scene or whatever in a trailer, and this is one of the scenes that they got to see at the edit bay visit. They're on a boat on the way to London, which is where when Diana first comes into the man's world, they go to London. That's like her first experience of it. And what they said is like she sees London, she's like it's ugly or whatever. She doesn't like it. And like Steve Trevor's like, oh, it's not for some people or something like that. But so they go to while on this boat, he says something about her father, and she's like, I don't have a father. I was made out of clay. And he's like, oh, well, that's interesting. Like, so he has a reaction, like a weird, like kind of
how anyone would.
Yeah, like I remember that, and I thought, oh yeah, that was funny. And like I've completely forgot about that at this point because it's been so long since I've seen that. That was like in like one of the earliest trailers or something.
Really?
Yeah. But
I have to go back and watch that. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I think it's in the first thing they ever released, a bit of footage, the first trailer.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, she is made out of clay.
Wow.
Patty Jenkins said like this is a character. She doesn't have like a feminist agenda. She's not. She's just like kind of oblivious to everything. She just knows what she knows.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't like give like lectures or like scold people for like being like misogynistic and stuff like that. She just is genuine in her like that's why is that happening? Like why?
That's good.
Yeah, like that's appropriate. Like that's how Wonder Woman is. Like the thing the thing that I got most of all is like I feel like Patty Jenkins really kind of gets this character, judging from the comments she's made and everything. And I do think this has a good opportunity, a good chance of being a really, really solid movie that just so happens to be based on a DC Comics character. Like, it doesn't have, like, the stuff that weighs it down like the other DC movies do.
Right.
I feel. What else we got here? She said the mystery of who's playing Ares wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional for them to kind of hide who's playing Ares.
So is it just like they just didn't know?
Well, they
at
weren't.
The time?
Well, no. At the time, they weren't trying to hide it and make it a big mystery or whatever. But now that people are like kind of curious and like wondering about it, she doesn't really want to officially reveal. But what I've been reading, so we thought it for a while. We thought it could be Danny Houston, who's he's playing a character named General Ulrich Ludendorff.
Okay.
General in World War One. And then David Thewlis is the other guy that recently people have said he's playing Ares. So I'm not, but according to this stuff, it says he's playing a character named Sir Patrick Morgan. So I don't know if maybe one of these characters still could be Ares, and it's just kind of taking on the form of man. And I think it could be Thewlis that's playing him, because it's talking about how they're like when they get to London, like Steve Trevor's like going to these people and trying to get them, trying to show them the information he got before his plane crashed on Paradise Island and everything. And this guy is the only one that's like listening to him. And from the description, it sounds like maybe he's trying to back him because he wants them to go to war, because he's really Ares and wants them to go to war. But I don't know. It's still kind of up in the air. She hasn't confirmed now who is
Steve
Ares.
Trevor?
No. This David.
Oh, okay,
Thewlis
gotcha.
The guy who played Professor Lupin in Harry
Gotcha.
Potter. There's
Daniel Radcliffe.
There's another character, an actress named Alina Anaya is playing an evil scientist named Dr. Maru, and but in
Is she on an island?
maybe she's
Now
on
we're talking.
Paradise Island. I don't know. But in the comics, she's known as Dr. Poison. So
That
that's
sounds
a
like
comic
something
book
you
character
and
as
I
well.
would make up.
Yep.
Dr. Poison.
Patty Jenkins said that what they're aiming for with this movie is Superman the movie.
Okay.
Good place to start. Meets Casablanca, Wally West's favorite movie. Listen back to last week's episode to hear how he railed on that. Meets Indiana Jones. I feel like I think the Casablanca stuff she was referring to is kind of like the relationship, like the Steve Trevor, Wonder Woman.
Maybe
more so Steve Trevor, because these like kind of that era and everything.
Yeah. Or maybe just the look of it, like the time.
Maybe, I don't know, but
Maybe
she said the movie, what she's aiming for is a combination of these three things, which I think is
Gotcha.
great. And then finally, she said the Wonder Woman theme will play in the film.
Good.
Now, I read this as the one that we heard in Batman vs Superman.
Right.
But I saw another outlet. I think Cinema Blend was saying the Wonder Woman theme from the 70s.
I mean,
the 70s TV show.
They'll probably throw it in the background, or like some kind of little quick thing.
Nod to it, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But what she was saying is like it's kind of hard to. It's something that like it's kind of hard to like overlay over like a child like scene or whatever. Like it's something that they're gonna have to build to in the movie.
Wonder Woman
or whatever. I don't think that's the one that they were referring to in this Edit Bay visit, but I mean it could be. I read it as the
right. Super awesome time music.
Yeah, I mean not to say that the other one isn't.
What other one?
The Wonder Woman. I love like in the Lego Batman game, whenever you play as Wonder Woman, you like if you jump in the air and everything, like every time you fly, it plays that music. Okay, yeah. I mean, either way, like I like both of those themes, so I'd be open to seeing them both, like how they worked them into the movie.
Yeah.
But I think they were talking about the actual Wonder Woman theme. Like, is it gonna fit in this movie?
Hope so.
She's gonna kick some ass to it. That's what I want to see. All right, so that's all the stuff we got for the Wonder Woman things. But like I said, definitely recommend going and reading all of. It's pinned to the top of the page on Heroic Hollywood right now, so go on there and check out all of Andy's coverage. Another person I work with on Heroic Hollywood, my boss Humberto Gonzalez. He also works for The Wrap, and he recently reported that An insider from Warner Brothers and
Snack rat.
DC has confirmed that the studio is willing to produce R-rated films. He said, the guy said 100% yes, with the right characters.
Well, yeah. Like, you don't want to... Look, they might. You don't want to do that with Superman.
No. I mean, they did it with Batman versus Superman. The Ultimate Edition, which shouldn't have been rated R. Like, it was rated R mostly for violence, but there was an F word in there that I felt was unnecessary. Like, PG-13 films can have one F word,
right,
but it's not in a Batman movie. But like, there are characters in the DC universe that could do an R-rated version, that should actually have an R. I feel like Suicide Squad totally should be rated R.
It should have been.
They're villains. Let them be villains.
Yeah, they're not going to worry about not cussing.
Yeah. Like, why are they holding their tongue? Yeah, and like same with like Gotham City Sirens could be as well.
Right.
Justice League Dark, like if they finally get that made. Even the animated version of Justice League Dark, which I just bought.
Oh, they're trying to do a live action version of that?
They've been trying to do a live action version of that for a while.
Wow.
Guillermo del Toro was trying to get it made.
I remember
this is a couple years back.
That.
Right now, Doug Liman is attached, who did the first Bourne Identity movie.
They should get what's his name? Constantine? Why can't I think of
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan. He should be
yeah. Oh. Like, it's one of those things that I want him to play every version of Constantine. He played it in the animated movie.
Yeah.
He played it in Arrow. He's going to have an animated version. He had his own show. Like, he is
I really
solid.
Wish that show wasn't canceled. I liked it.
But at least, like, he's still getting to play him. He played him in Arrow.
Yeah.
Played him in the anime, and now he's going to have his own animated series on the CW Seed. But yeah, I mean, what are some other movies that you feel that you would like to see as an R-rated thing in the DC universe?
See, I don't know about character-wise who would fit that description. I mean, Lobo, but I don't know enough about him. I just know of him.
Yeah, he would be a good like there are characters that deserve that. Like
you were right, Suicide Squad should have been.
Suicide Squad definitely should have been, but Suicide Squad 2 could be. Like, David Ayer's not doing it, and like, I don't completely blame David Ayer on that film on David Ayer. I think deep down there was a solid working version of that film that they fucked over by just constantly piling on like these elements and stuff and chopping it up. Real quick, someone said something that pointed this out recently. I can't remember who it was. Someone on the video I was watching online. They pointed out how the movie felt like it felt more like a trailer than a movie.
The whole movie?
Suicide Squad. The way it was edited together. And the reason being is because they had an edited version of the film, and then they sent the film to one of the trailer houses, the people that cut trailers.
Yeah.
The Suicide Squad version of the film that was released was edited by one of those trailer houses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it feels like that. I'm like, what the hell, man? Like... It's like it's a weird decision, weird call, and like it kind of explains a lot about the editing of it, all the songs and all that stuff.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense. Like it makes sense as far as like that's what happened to it. Not like made sense as like why did they do that?
You know what I was just thinking would have been an interesting Suicide Squad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that animated Batman episode? Almost Got Him. Where's the villain? They're all sitting around talking about like how they almost got Batman. Yeah. Maybe something like that. That would have been kind of cool.
It would be like an interesting movie about villains. Suicide Squad is specifically like a thing. Like,
you're right.
In the comics, that is one of my favorite episodes of the animated series.
Because then you could get a bunch of different versions of Batman, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get like a bunch of different Batman stories and stuff.
Costumes.
I mean, really, what they should have done is pretty much exactly the Batman Assault on Arkham animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a perfect Suicide Squad movie. Like it's actually set in the universe of the Arkham video games.
Oh yeah.
So like Deadshot looks like he does in that, and Harley and all that stuff, and like it's got who else is it? Killer Frost and. Couple other characters, but if you haven't seen that, I recommend checking that out because that's a solid Suicide Squad movie. And Joker is the main antagonist that they're going after, and what they did with those characters in that movie totally worked. Now, maybe that wouldn't have, because I've been thinking,
There's a change.
Maybe the Harley Quinn Joker relationship that I was expecting to see in that movie. Maybe it's okay that they didn't do it in that movie because you kind of got to establish like her being in love with him, being in like. But the thing is, they made him too much like focused on her as well. And then if you do a follow up with Suicide Squad, make the Joker like he is in the comics, where he treats her like shit and everything, and she still keeps coming back to him. And in this movie, have her kind of get over him in a way like that, like have her going, all right, I'm done being kicked around by this asshole. And everything like that's what you can do in a sequel. So maybe they didn't do what I was hoping or expecting in the first movie, but they can still do that in the second movie or in Gotham City Sirens. I mean, Harley Quinn wasn't always part of the Suicide Squad. She is now, like in every iteration that they've done like recently. But you could do a Suicide Squad movie without Harley Quinn, but they're not going to. All right, let's move on to. Real quick, let's talk about some DC TV stuff.
Nice, son.
Batman, the real Batman, Adam West, is going to guest star.
The one and only.
The one and only is going to guest star on Powerless coming up this season.
Nice.
He's going to play.
I started watching that.
You did?
I like it. It's really enjoyable.
Yeah, it's the thing about that show is the cast carries it for me. I really like the cast. The writing is not as strong as I'd like it to be, but the cast is what carries it. What do you think about? I love Ron Funches. He's like he's my favorite. Love him, and Alan Tudyk is great in that show.
Yeah, he's great.
Danny Pudi, even Vanessa Hudgens, who I don't know from anything. Like I like her character. I like her performance in that show. The character the person that I knew nothing about that I really like in that show is Jackie, the secretary. Christina Kirk plays her. The blonde lady, she's Van's receptionist, secretary, or whatever. She's really funny to me. Her, I love her delivery. Her real dry, understated kind of delivery.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, Adam West is gonna guest star on Powerless. He's gonna play Wayne Industries chairman Dean West. He arrives in Charm City to announce cuts to the budget cuts and stuff to the company following an attack on Gotham City. He was also in the pilot episode. He was the narrator at the beginning for that commercial thing at the beginning. The NBC president spoke recently about the chances of the show getting renewed. I mean, it's not doing well in the ratings. Yeah. I think the show shows a lot of promise. It just hasn't reached what I think it could be yet.
The opening credits, though,
I love them. They're so good. Yeah.
It's almost to a fault. It's almost to a different show. Do you know what I mean?
It's almost better than the show.
Right.
Like I said, I think the writers or the cast is great. I just wish the writing was a bit stronger.
Yeah. Well, any show, it just takes
the last
season.
episode, the one with the Batmobile or the Batarang. Did you see that one?
I did.
Yeah,
I like that one.
That one, I liked it, but there was stuff I felt like it could have been stronger. I feel like they didn't quite. And I know it's a sitcom, but for some, it feels short. Every week it feels really short, and they didn't have time to get to just see things all the way through. I feel.
Yeah.
It's kind of rushed in that way, but I mean you can't go an hour with it.
Yeah.
You can't do an hour long sitcom. But yeah, he spoke about it. He's like, the numbers aren't great. He said they're behind the show, but we're not sure yet if they're going to renew it or not. The Flash. There was a first promo release for the Flash Supergirl crossover, the musical. Have you seen that?
No, I've seen.
It's just a real quick, a little bit of dancing and stuff like that. It's kind of a more classical kind of thing,
right?
But yeah, it's interesting. I'm curious to see that. When you're hearing this, not tomorrow, not the week this comes out, but the week after is the Flash musical.
The future. This is the future.
Yeah, this guy.
What guy?
There's an actor named David Desmalchin.
Yes.
You know who he is?
Yeah.
He was on an episode of Fat Man on Batman. I really liked. He seems like a cool guy. But he and he liked my tweet when I tweeted this. I said he is everywhere right now. He's been in every superhero universe pretty much. He was in The Dark Knight.
Right.
He he was pretty much the Mad Hatter, because remember in the scene where the Joker was trying to kidnap Gordon, and there was that whole parade thing. He was the guy that the really creepy guy in the suit, and his name tag said J. Tetch, like Jervis.
Yeah.
Tetch, the Mad Hatter.
So is that what that was?
He was the closest thing to the Mad Hatter in the Dark Knight universe or whatever. So he was in that. He was one of Paul Rudd's buddies in Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
He was the Russian dude. He was in Gotham this season.
Oh, was he?
He's the guy that brought Jared? Was it
Jerome?
Jerome.
Jared.
He's the guy that brought Jerome back. He was one of the people obsessed with Jerome.
Jared.
And he cut it. He's the guy that cut his face off and put it on himself. And he's great. And so he's coming to the Flash now.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be playing a villain, a villain of a Wally West villain in the comics. He was more of a Wally West Flash villain named Abracadabra.
Nice.
And his description of him in the show is a criminal from a distant future whose advanced technological powers seem like magic. The time traveler holds a secret the Flash will stop at nothing to uncover.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be coming in the Flash. I like this guy. He's a comic book fan too, as we saw. If you saw the episode he was on of Fat Man on Batman. But he's everywhere right now. Star Trek Discovery has finally found their captain.
Is it me?
No.
Oh,
sorry. Well. I know you were expecting to hear back from him about being the captain on the Starship Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be Jason Isaacs, who was Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies.
Okay.
He's going to be playing Captain Lorca.
Mm-hmm.
The cool thing about this show is the captain's not the main character in this show. Usually he is. In this show, the main character is the lieutenant commander, who's going to be played by Sonequa Martin Green from The Walking Dead. She plays Sasha.
Oh, okay.
It's a great cast so far. Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know. But
did you watch the last episode of The Walking Dead?
Yeah. I think maybe she might be
getting got.
She might be getting got go into the future somehow or something. What if she's the same character somehow?
Awesome.
During the zombie apocalypse,
sign me up.
She gets beamed up.
So she's the captain, or she's
the lieutenant commander of the ship. The ship is going to be called the Discovery this time.
Okay.
She's going to be the show's main character, which is be cool. Female lead and not the captain. Yep. I mean, this is not the first female lead in Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Which one was? I don't know much about Star Trek outside of the original series and Next Generation.
Right. But
one of them had
a lady.
Yeah, was it Voyager?
That sounds right.
Yeah. But she's joining. Jason Isaacs is now joining. Sonequa Martin Green, Michelle Yeoh as a Starfleet captain. Doug Jones, who played Abe Sapien in the Hellboy movies.
Mm-hmm.
He's awesome. I love that guy. And Silver Surfer. He was also Silver Surfer in that shitty movie. He's playing a new alien species to the Star Trek universe.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Rapp, who was in Rent, and I always remember him as the douchebag guy in Road Trip. He was the guy that was trying to bang his girlfriend. So he was have you seen Road Trip?
I mean, once, super long time ago.
Once? I've seen that movie a million times. That was one of my favorite movies growing up.
All right.
Explains a lot. And James Frain, who don't throw things, but he was Theo Galavan on Gotham.
Nope.
But the casting is perfect because he's going to play Sarek, Spock's father, in this show. And that's good casting if you remember the character from the old show, Spock's father, in those episodes.
Yeah, I guess.
It's great casting. I like that guy.
I guess it's not his fault.
You gotta be able to separate the actors from the writers that do horrible things to that actor's character.
Here's my problem with Gotham.
We've well established the problems with Gotham.
Number 1, Fish Mooney. Number 2, they showed me that they could have done Batman. All right, I'm done. Have him hop on a goddamn bridge with a cape.
From Star Trek to Star Wars.
Bullshit.
From Star Trek to Star Wars. Variety is reporting that Michael K. Williams has joined the cast of the Han Solo movie in a key role. Do you know who Michael K. Williams is?
No.
He was Omar in The Wire, which you've never watched, but he is a fantastic actor. He's I think he's a really cool fit for this universe. Like, it's something that like I wouldn't expect this casting, but when I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, I want to see that, especially because Han Solo deals with more of like the scum and villainy of the Star Trek universe.
Yeah.
I was thinking that what would be really fucking cool is if he was actually playing a character named Cad Bane, who is from the Clone Wars animated series. He's one of my favorite characters in the Clone Wars series that only ever really appeared in the Clone Wars series. He's like Thawne. He's like one of the same race that the, what is it, Chiss or something? Chiss, like it's Chiss. I don't know how you, Chiss or whatever. The race with their blue with the red eyes.
Yeah.
He looks cool. He's a badass, like bounty hunter, like kind of westerny kind of gunslinger type character. He would be, so he's really cool, and it would be really cool if Michael K. Williams was playing him, but I don't know. I doubt it, but I don't know. Star Wars Rebels has been renewed for a 4th season.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool. I think they're going to... I've always thought that they were going to do 5, so I don't know. Maybe they're going to do 5, because I think it's supposed to be... The first season was supposed to be set... Like, I thought it was supposed to be set 5 years before A New Hope. So, I'm thinking they're probably going to do 5 seasons and then wrap it up. And then do something new, which, when they do something new... I mean, not that I don't like Rebels, I love it, but when they do something new, I'm curious to see, like, what that is. I'm really hoping it's something that's set between episodes 6 and 7, between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, because they're not using the numbers anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I would love something set between there, where, we get to see Luke, like, trying to train a new generation of Jedi and stuff, and then you start with that. You got your main characters. You got Luke and Kylo Ren, and just have Ben Solo, and have him, like, the storyline is eventually he betrays Luke and everybody and the family and stuff. So, like, that's an animated series right there.
That's a solid storyline. Have
Mark Hamill, he's known for doing voice work and stuff.
Yeah.
Have him come back as Luke. Perfect. I would kill to see that shit. This is interesting. This is not a real news story or anything, but it's someone running their mouth saying they want to play a character, which happens all the time. But I like it.
Is it me?
Yep.
I should play Lobo.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Okay.
From Stranger Things.
Okay.
11 on Stranger Things. She said she wants to play Princess Leia. And I was thinking about it. I was like, I can kind of see her as a young Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Like, way younger than, what we've seen before, but I could totally see that. So, like, I don't know what opportunity she would have. In what
context? Like,
maybe they do a, she might be a little too young for it to work in, like, the Han Solo movie.
Yes.
But
because that would be gross.
Well, I don't think Princess Leia would be in there anyway. Like, if it was, it would be, like, a kind of random thing.
Yeah.
It'd be gross, like, I do, like, maybe not exactly line up, but Harrison Ford was, like, 30 or so when Carrie Fisher was 19. Now, I don't know how old Alden Ehrenreich is, but it probably, the age difference is a little different.
Doesn't matter.
But I don't think they would need Leia for the Han Solo movie. Anything more than, like, maybe a cameo somehow. Like, where they kind of just miss each other kind of thing. But I do like her as Princess Leia. Like, I like that idea.
Yeah, they could do, like, her, like, a young, like, an adventure.
Maybe they do. Maybe she appears in a Obi-Wan movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Have Ewan McGregor come in and play Obi-Wan again. And
he's, like, looking out for her and stuff.
Set somewhere in between. Well, he's looking out for Luke, but he could also...
Yeah, he's fine.
He'd also check in on
He's like,
I'm
sure he'll be fine.
Somehow.
That nerd's going to be all right. Yeah, we're converted. Shut up.
Oh, he's fine. He's not bothering anyone. All right, so let's...
Something tells me he won't get into any trouble.
All right, let's move on to Marvel. Did you see today, Entertainment Weekly released an ass ton of pictures from Thor Ragnarok. Did you see that?
I saw some.
Yeah, you got first look, like you got like the cover with like short hair Thor.
Yeah, there you go.
And
change it up a bit.
Yeah, but it bums me out. I love that.
Why?
I love those long golden locks. But you get your first appearance of like Hela and Valkyrie and Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster. Like, I've been way excited for this movie.
Yeah.
But this is really getting me pumped up. That those pictures that I saw today. Iron Fist.
What?
Well, this isn't as big of a deal, but like they've confirmed that Danny's not gonna wear the costume anytime soon.
That's okay.
The tattoo makes up for it, I think.
Right.
That tattoo looks really cool, and I think it works. But he might eventually maybe wear it in the Defenders. Like they still haven't ruled that out.
Well, you gotta save some stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the costume designer said something about like they're not allowed to say anymore. Is one of those things. So if none of them are wearing anything different than we've seen of her, why would she not be allowed to say, or why usually, I don't know, I didn't.
That costume, that costume's a little tricky.
A little tricky, but at least the mask, because he's going to be out there fighting. People will know who he is. Especially because he's fighting to save his company. People will know who he is. Like, wear a mask, dude. Daredevil did it. The first season, just borrow his. Spray paint it yellow.
He's not using it.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that bummed me out. The reviews are not looking too good.
Really?
They do what they usually do with the Netflix shows is they'll release like the first 6 episodes to critics. And I tried to see if I could get my hands on them, but it's too late. From what I'm seeing, this might be Marvel Netflix's first kind of failure, and that's a bummer. Like, I don't know.
Well, we'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm still trying to keep high hopes. I mean, people have only seen the first half, so maybe it really gels by the third. But by like episode 7 or so, it starts to. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, Luke Cage definitely had won people over by that point.
Right. By
those first 6 episodes, because it was almost like 2 mini seasons in one season.
Yeah, that one episode ended like a season finale.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. Bummer. I've been really looking forward to that show.
It still might be good.
Yeah, but I've been really looking forward to that show, but not really as much as I have the other ones, though. Like, I was more looking forward to Daredevil and Luke Cage and stuff.
Yeah.
And even Jessica Jones, which I knew a lot about by the time that show came out. I had read pretty much all of the Jessica Jones comic stuff because it wasn't a lot.
But
yeah.
What, like a solo comic?
Yeah, well, she started in a series called Alias. So that was a really, really good series that I like quite a bit. So, like, I knew a lot about her character by the time the show came around. Inhumans. Bunch of Inhumans stuff. We talked last week about them casting Black Bolt, Medusa, and we've already talked about Mad Maximus and Karnak, but they've cast pretty much the rest of the royal family. They cast an actor from Concussion, Imwe Ikwakor, I don't know, as Gorgon. Yeah.
Just keep stacking them.
Yep. I need to do some more research on how to say all these names. There's so many names in these things that I don't know. He's playing Gorgon, who is Black Bolt's cousin. He's like the leader of the Attilan army. He's got like these hoofs and everything. They're really powerful. Hoofs. Isabel Cornish, she's playing Crystal, who's Medusa's sister. And she like kind of controls the elements. In the comics, she was kind of like the way in for people because she like had relationships with like Johnny Storm and stuff like that.
Right.
And I think was it Iceman or something like that. She kind of like banged around, I guess. I don't know. She kind of made her way around the Marvel universe. Guy named Mike Moe is from Empire. And he played Machinima is doing these like Street Fighter web series things. He played Ryu in that. He's playing Triton, who's Black Bolt's cousin. He can like live underwater. He's like a fish dude, which is awesome. Sonia Balmerez, she's a surfer that has been in a bunch of stuff, like the movie like Soul Surfer and stuff like that. She's playing Orin, who is like the head of the Royal Guards on Attilan. And Ellen Woglum, who was on Californication, she's a mystery human character. So she's like the human way into the show.
Okay.
Maybe she works for some kind of scientist thing. Maybe maybe S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, this show it's going to be a show on ABC. It could totally cross over with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which has already established the Inhumans in that world.
Okay.
And they even had like a secret like paradise thing for Inhumans that wasn't the one that we know from the comics and everything. It didn't have the royal family there and stuff, but there's connections. And this I'm really excited about. They have confirmed, and it's more than confirmed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Lockjaw will be a part of this show.
Oh, the dog.
The dog.
Nice.
They're shooting this show now. Remember we talked a couple weeks ago about they might be making a Submariner.
Yeah.
It's actually Inhumans that is shooting in Hawaii.
Gotcha.
And their first look pics of them shooting Inhumans. Have you seen? Did you see those?
No. Is there a picture of Lockjaw?
Good news, bad news.
Okay.
There is a picture of a stand-in of Lockjaw.
All right.
Because he's going to be CG.
Yeah.
But the way it's done, it shows you, it gives you a good idea of the size and scope of this character, which is really cool.
What's bad news?
The bad news is, to me, the way I feel is the way that Black Bolt looks. All right, here's the first image of like this thing that they're using. They're using this as like a stand-in for Lockjaw, so people could get the size and scope of it and everything.
Okay.
Like
feel you. Yeah.
That totally works. That's perfect. Yeah. Like, but then here is Black Bolt. He looks like Colossus in like the old X-Men movies.
Well, what do you want him to look like?
The comics, like with the mask and everything. Like, well, he doesn't have the mask.
Put on the mask.
I don't, but all these pictures are of him without the mask.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe all the pictures they shot were just between takes or something. He wasn't wearing the mask, but
he can never talk though.
He can't. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, he can communicate with Medusa, his wife, telepathically. So
is he gonna have
she
to do
can
that
talk
with
for him, but we can maybe hear his voice telepathically.
Right.
But when we hear his voice out loud, it's not good for anybody. Yeah, I mean, it's just black leather. They're taking the...
But what if that's just...
2000 X-Men approach.
But what if that's just a starting costume?
I don't know. Maybe.
You know what I mean?
I'm hoping. I'm really hoping at some point he puts on... Because that's Black Bolt. The mask, the tuning fork, the black costume with the white. I don't even mind that, like, if it's the black, because he does kind of have the designs and stuff on the suit, but they're just not white like they are in the comics. They're still kind of that little like kind of trim and everything. But I don't know. He just looked. The first thing as soon as I saw it, I was like, that looks like Daniel Cudmore from the X-Men movies, from like X-Men Last Stand, and that bummed me out because I don't like that movie. All right. So yeah, all that stuff, Inhumans. There's just a lot of Inhuman stuff coming out right now. Like they've also confirmed the new humans will appear in the show. New Humans were like more recently they were a new generation of Inhumans created by like this Terrigen bomb going off. Do you know how Inhumans are made?
No.
It's like twofold. Like they kind of have to be born with a gene.
Okay.
They kind of have to have that within themselves, but also they have this. They breathe in this stuff called the Terrigen mists that give them that activates their inhuman abilities within them and stuff. So if in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., some of the characters got affected by the mist. One of them just kind of turned into like stone and died, like broke apart and everything.
Right.
And then the other one, they like get like enveloped in this like cocoon and everything, and then they break out of it, and then they have their new abilities and stuff. But so the New Humans are a newer generation that get there when like a big, and there's in the Inhumanity storyline in the comics, the Earth got surrounded by a big cloud of Terrigen mist, which was the result of Attilan's destruction, the home city of the royal family. It sounds like if they're shooting in Hawaii, I'm thinking maybe they will show Attilan that place. I mean, they're talking about the characters like the Attilan army and the Royal Guard and everything. So maybe they start in this island paradise thing that it shows in the Paul Jenkins run in the comics, and then they eventually go to the moon, which we know happens in the comics later. And they have confirmed that we will see the moon in there. But
very far away shot from Earth.
Yeah. But the New Humans are going to appear in the comics. New Humans include Lash, who was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. recently. He was a cool Sonic the Hedgehog looking dude. Moon Girl, is like a popular character right now with the comic Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur. And Miss Marvel, the Kamala Khan, is one of the Inhumans. The new one, like the girl with the blue and pink outfit, the one that
Yeah.
Really cool. The new version of Miss Marvel, who's a really popular character right now, and a character that a lot of people would love to see a TV show of. So they could possibly spin her out of this and do.
She's different than Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. Well, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers used to be Miss Marvel.
Right.
And then became Captain Marvel, and now this is the new Miss Marvel. Gotcha. She always looked up to that character and everything. Ice Cube might be voicing Miles Morales' father in the animated Spider-Man film.
Okay.
That's according to Meet the Movie Press. I like that. X-Force, the producers have confirmed that Cable and Deadpool are going to be the leads in that movie.
Okay.
It's been assumed all along, but in the comics, Cable is a big part of it, but Deadpool's not always really part of the X-Force team and stuff, so they have confirmed that they're going to be the lead of this in this movie, so that's great. The next X-Men films is in the early stages of prep right now. It's supposed to be shooting in June. Producer Lauren Schuler Donner, who's I believe she's the wife of Richard Donner, who did the Superman movie in the 70s. She's been attached to these since the first X-Men movie. She's been on board this series. She's more so than anyone stuck with it. But she said that they're not really doing the. They're trying to move past the Eric Charles relationship, the Magneto Professor X kind of thing. She's saying there are other stories to tell, and so I like that.
Yeah,
that's always been kind of my motto with the X-Men universe. There are other stories to tell
instead of
I
mean, I get it.
In the 2000s, our whole thing was there are other stories to tell with. Instead of making every X-Men movie about Wolverine.
Right.
And they kind of got past that.
Now I don't want any more not Wolverine.
Yeah, well, because the first 3 X-Men movies were all, he was the lead character, was all Wolverine, and then they did Wolverine solo movies. And it's that's different. He's still the lead, he's still all about Wolverine and stuff. Then in the new trilogy of movies, they kind of replaced that with the whole Eric and Magneto, which is always a big part of those movies anyway. It's a big part of the entire series and the comics and everything. But and then Mystique was kind of for some reason was their new one. There are other stories to tell.
Please.
Make it an ensemble.
Yeah.
I want to see all of them. I want to see Jean Grey. I want to see Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Beast. All of them. I mean, they're all there now.
I think I'm done with Mystique.
Oh, you think?
I've been done.
Yeah.
Since.
Here's the stupid thing, we'll get to it later, but Sabretooth, Sabretooth is a character that you could have done a lot more than they did, but Mystique is the one that they decided to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not that Sabretooth is a big, character that, has a lot of potential, but when you're doing 12 Wolverine movies, imagine he'd show up more than twice.
Is that really it? Just twice?
He was in the first X-Men movie. He was played by Tyler Mane.
Yep, I remember that.
And he looked great.
Yep.
As Sabretooth, and then he was in
tall.
Then he was in Wolverine Origins, and it was Liev Schreiber, who I thought did okay in playing the character, but the look and just the decisions that the writers and all that stuff made with him wasn't quite there. Oh, how'd you like that news? Good stuff, huh?
Very newsworthy.
Yeah, exactly an hour or ish.
Precise.
I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
Only time will tell.
If I cut out all of the bullshit Steven says, maybe a little less.
It'll probably be much more entertaining.
So that's going to be it for this week. Again, check back later this week or next week for our Logan spoiler review, as well as our commentary track for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
Yeah.
If you like this episode, if you're watching it on YouTube, please like and subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and leave a review. That's one of the most important things you can do to help us out, help people find the show, help us grow an audience.
Please.
Please. Oh, God, please. Follow us online on Facebook.com/The Amazing Nerdiverse. On Twitter, I'm at Jeff_Grants. I
am at Steven Tukert. That's STEVENTEUCHERT.
And we are at Nerdiverse Pod. And go to theamazingnerdiverse.com for all that and very little more. And until next time, I'm Jeff Grants.
I am Steven Tukert.
Catch you right here next week on The Amazing Nerdiverse.
Hit 'em.